So I thought I'd make another little video on this little scooter. You know, this little tiny miniature scooter that I've, as usual, modified. I modify everything. It's got full-size handlebars. I changed out the original switch that was kind of fucky. It was old and you could feel it loose, and it's got a lot better. That switch was getting hot and limiting the power to the motor and everything. This one don't get hot at all. It allows full power. You know, I got a horn for it, just a little kid's horn. Just something. And I moved the batteries. I finally put a battery box on there. And I have a better battery connection set up, as you might have seen in some of my other videos. So yeah, I had to get rid of the handle in this. It stuck down too far, the little divot where the handle folds in. So this doesn't have a handle anymore, which is no biggie. It's mounted to the bike. So it runs on Hypertough batteries. It runs on, well, however many you want to put into it, up to 3 at a time. As long as you match amperage, amp hours. These are all the same volt. So these 3 are all 4 amp hours a piece, 20 volt batteries. So I got 20 volts, 12 amp hour battery. Then I've got, just for taking up the space because they fit, these are my 1.5 amp hours, I think. Yep. So that's another 3 amp hours. I can hook those two together in parallel. Since this box is all plastic and everything, the one that's not hooked up, that has the live connection, I was worried about that when I had all the batteries down there. Like if I did run just 2 at a time and have one that's live, those 2 little prongs, I was worried about it touching the frame or something, but it can just kind of dangle loose in here and it's no biggie. It's not going to touch and ground out anything. So I can run these 2 in parallel, and then I have 2 more right here, and these are my 2 amp hour batteries. So I've got those. This seat will hold 4 batteries, 4 of the normal thickness batteries, and it'll hold 1 of those, and then past this point it has to be a single layer. So it can be the double thick ones here, but anything past here, the seat touches it, so it has to be here. So I can hold 1, 2, 3, 4 of these kind, or 1 of those, and then 2 of these. So yeah, either way I can hold a few batteries in here. So that's another 4 amp hours right there I can run. So basically the equivalent of 1 more of these, because I can run those 2 together in parallel. And I've got somewhere around an 8-mile range with just these 3 alone hooked together in parallel. And so that's 12 amp hours. So when I hook, see, I don't want to hook a 1.5 up in parallel with a 2 amp hour or any of these. I don't know if that's any good for that little battery or not. I've always been cautious about hooking a bigger amperage battery up to a littler amperage battery, even if the voltage matches. The draw might not be balanced between the batteries. It might hurt one of the batteries. So yeah, so I've got 3 amp hours here I can run on once these are dead, and that can get me pretty far, and then another 4 amp hours, so I can go probably almost as far with the other 4 batteries as I can with these. Not quite, obviously, because it's only like, what is that, 7 amp hours, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7 amp hours. And they're just Hypertough. And I've got the speed charger for them, so if I'm just using these 3, it's a 3-hour charge time. Or less, depending on how bad I've depleted them and whatever. And yeah, every now and then, well yeah. So I just got little notches. I let them pop out of the notch. I might like make it to where they stay down in there. Yeah. The lid won't close if they pop up. There we go. Yeah, and so right now, I mean, I use JB Weld, like plastic kind, but it kind of I just used most of the tube, but there's thin spots and stuff in some spots that didn't mix right, so I got to get some more, do something else, cover it from the inside again. And for now, just to make it look good, because it's ugly here, I just used blue masking tape just to make it look a little better for now. I'll peel it back off and do some more filling of spots with the JB Weld later. I gotta get another tube of it. Or another thing of it. But yeah, that's the battery, and I'll put a little hasp on it. Just, you know, as a deterrent. It's all a plastic thing, and they could easily... But if it's out of sight, out of mind, they don't really know what kind of battery's in there. They don't know that those batteries are super expensive. They're $50 a piece for the 3 big ones. And then the 2 amp hour ones are $20 a piece. And I think the 1.5 ones you don't buy separately. They only come with the tools, the small drills and angle grinders. And that's what I have, the drill and an angle grinder. But the 2 amp hour one came with the weed eater. One of the 2 amp hour ones came with the weed eater. One of them I bought separately by itself. And then the other 3 big batteries, yeah, they were all $50 a piece. It's $150 in batteries in those 3. So there's a lot in batteries, but a good e-bike battery is expensive. No matter what e-bike it's on, it can be the junkiest e-bike in the world. The battery is mostly what makes the e-bike worth it, anything, you know. Yeah, certain motors give it better torque and whatnot, but I'm not looking for torque. I'm just looking for range. So that's why I went with this, even though it's on a junky frame. This battery setup I can put on any other e-bike. I'm willing to, you know, cut wires and adapt it to go on any other e-bike later on. So that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think.